It's currently 9:05 a.m. and if you can't tell, I'm still at home. I have my first meeting, which is my stand-up at 10 a.m. So I usually like to get some work done beforehand, and then right after stand-up, I'll start heading to the office. So for the 1 hour before my stand-up, I actually have a couple of code reviews that got reviewed, and my teammates left some comments, so I'm going to go over them, make a few code changes, and submit a new revision before I actually push my code. For today's video, I really just wanted to show a more raw and honest look into what my 9 to 5 actually looks like. I feel like there are so many day in my life of a software engineer videos out there, but most of them only show small, curated moments, which makes sense because you obviously can't just record everything you're working on and put it online. But because of that, I think it can give a slightly skewed idea of what the job is really like. So for this video, I'm not really going to be doing much editing. I'm just going to let the clips play out and talk through what my day-to-day actually looks like in real time. Just a more honest, high-level look at the kind of work we actually do. It's currently 9:57 a.m. and I was able to submit a revision just in time before my stand-up. Gonna join my stand-up in a few minutes.
Hey team, let's get started. Next up is Maddie.
Yesterday, I was mainly just working on adding integration tests to our pipeline, and today going to continue doing the same. Just finished my stand-up and now it's time to head to the office, but I need to pack my lunch, so let's go do that first. Hi Brian, just got your email. Scheduled a coffee chat for 8 p.m. today. Looking forward to speaking with you. I love playing Sudoku on the bus. Been trying to solve a couple of puzzles a day. It's a rainy day in Seattle. Gotta take my giant umbrella. Coming from SoCal, could not bear the rain, so got me the biggest umbrella that I could find on Amazon. Rainy, cold day in Seattle means biggest puffer that I have. This is actually so ginormous. It goes down to my ankles. AirPods, bus card badge, keys. Now it's time to head to the office. It's a rainy day here in Seattle. So grateful that I got this giant umbrella. It low-key feels like a walking roof, a walking tent, but it's so needed for days like today. So my team has sprints that are every 2 weeks. And this sprint, I picked up very normal tasks. There's nothing special. I will say next week I'm on call, so gotta get all my tasks done this week. I'm not doing too much today after work. I just have some stuff to do for YouTube and I'm gonna eat dinner with my roommate. For my next video, talk about the past 6 months at Amazon and what my experience was like as a software engineer. Also, talk about the lessons that I learned and how I was so excited in the beginning, but I felt a lot of emotions throughout.
Well, the next stoppage.
I usually get to the office at around 10:45 a.m. and I always like to get a vanilla latte from the coffee machine on my floor. And then once I get to my desk, the first thing that I kind of like to do is refresh myself on the work that I did from home and continue with my tasks. And because I was able to complete my code revision at home, I was able to start on a fresh new task, which was to create an integration test for a pipeline and also descale some of our fleets. I actually ended up working on these two simultaneously because they were kind of similar, but I guess not really, but I did have some waiting periods for each task, so I ended up interchanging between the two. These two tasks were actually something that I haven't really picked up before, and actually one of them is something my team has never done before, so there was a lot of learning that had to be done first. You know, it'd be nice if I can just tell AI to build something, but that is unfortunately not the case, so I need to build an understanding for myself first before I can tell AI exactly what I want it to build. I have a lot of thoughts regarding AI, and using it at my 9-to-5 job, which I'll discuss more later in this video, but just wanted to quickly throw that in there. Once I made some progress in my work, it's finally time to eat lunch. I typically eat lunch at around 11:45 a.m., just a bit before everyone else heads to the kitchen area because there's hardly any seats on my floor. This week, I was feeling quite lazy and actually cooking something, so I ended up just meal prepping some ground beef that I had with some rice and lettuce. I literally sound like a gym bro. Headed to my desk after, and I love eating some small snacks. I love drinking Yakults and eating some fruits after my meals, and 2 tangerines is usually my go-to fruit to take to the office. So right now for one of my sprint tasks, I need to create an integration test for our team's cash pipeline. And this is just a really simple test. Our team doesn't have an integration test for our cash pipeline, and typically it is best practice to have one. But I'm running into a couple of build failures, so I've been trying to unblock myself. Also, last week I made some UI changes to my team's platform. And so this week, even though I'm not on call, I am in charge of UI deployment. Our current on-call is busy with our main service pipelines deployment, so typically UI deployments are a lot easier and quicker, so shouldn't be too bad, but yeah. So throughout the video, you guys have probably seen me use this gadget, and it's called Speak On. It's been really helpful for taking notes, doing everyday tasks like writing my emails, sending text messages, and this is where I would like to thank today's sponsor, Speak On. You know, throughout the day, I have a lot of thoughts, and it can be a hassle opening your notes app and writing them all down. My thoughts are not cohesive sometimes. They're all over the place, and I also stutter, but Speak On is able to adapt to all of that and just create a really comprehensive smart list or notes of everything that I've been saying. And it's also really easy to get started. You just turn on the gadget, and then once it's connected, you just press this button and it will start recording whatever you're saying. So if you're not on a specific app, it will just jog everything that you're saying onto the Speak On app. But let's say you're on Gmail or you're messaging someone, it will have everything that you're saying written down in that respective app. And so this morning I was able to actually send an email just really quickly as I was packing my lunch. I also sent a message to my mom in the morning telling her what I'm up to today. If you guys don't know, I'm full Korean, and sometimes I do text in English to my mom, but a lot of times I do also text in Korean, but my Korean is so bad and I always misspell, and I'm really slow at typing in Korean. Like, I don't know where all the characters are. So Speak On has been really nice because it also is able to automatically translate everything that I'm saying. Speak On is also able to adapt to any tone that you want. They have an attune feature, so obviously for more professional apps like my email, I will have it use a formal tone, but for something like my text messaging app, I just have it set to a casual tone. Speak On has been super helpful to do my everyday tasks. It literally cuts my time and effort by so much, and I'm like one of the worst texters, and I'm really bad at responding to emails. If I could choose, I would always prefer FaceTiming or calling someone than texting someone because I'm just so bad at texting. I don't know what it is. I'm just really bad at it. And so having Speak On just like on the back of my phone has been really helpful. If you guys are interested, definitely check the link in my description box down below. So yeah. I don't know if you can tell, but it's raining right now. Yesterday was so sunny, so it's so sad to see it be raining today. Man, Seattle. I don't typically book rooms for myself, but on days that I have a meeting with my mentor, I like just being able to talk at a normal voice and be able to focus on the meeting. So whenever I do have one-on-ones with my mentor, I tend to book a room. I meet with my mentor once every 2 weeks, and it's been really helpful. It's really nice to be able to talk about your work, your team, like everything, the projects that you're taking on with somebody that works at Amazon that's not in your direct org or team. And it's nice to just get insights from someone different. So it's been really helpful. I'm still waiting for one of my changes to get to beta. So once it's in beta, I can start continuing deployment to Gamma Prod, stuff like that. Yeah, although today is just a very normal work day, there's nothing special. I'm actually taking up a new task that I have never worked on before. Even after 7 months of working, there's still new areas that I have never tapped into before. So that's super fun. Whenever I pick up something new, I always try to take a day day, like one work day, to fully understand like what I'm working on and why I'm working on it, just be able to get a good high level overview and then slowly start to get a deeper understanding of what it is that I am working on, just so that like I don't break anything and I don't make the wrong changes. That is what's been going on. Finally, I've been able to fix the build error, and it was again just in time before I hop into my meeting with my mentor. There's a lot of things that I want to discuss with him today, so yeah. Hi, how are you? And I also kind of just wanted to reflect on the past 6 months of me working here. So my meeting with my mentor was pretty good. I mean, it's always good when I get to talk to him. I feel like I get to learn so many valuable insights. But now all the UI changes are now in beta, so now it's time for me to start with UI deployment. I hope there's no problems, and I mean, typically there's no problems, but let's hope that our on-call doesn't get paged. And then afterwards, because I was able to solve the build error and I was able to submit a CR, I am now going to start working into one of my other tasks, which is descaling cache fleets. So I know I briefly mentioned this earlier, but something that no one really talks about when it comes to being a software engineer is that we don't actually spend most of our time coding. Especially now with AI, it's even less about writing code and more so about thinking through problems. For example, when I say I'm working on a new code revision, you'd probably immediately assume that I'm just sitting there typing out a bunch of code. But in reality, most of my time is actually spent understanding the feedback, figuring out what the actual issue is, and then deciding how to approach it. A lot of that process does involve using AI, but it doesn't do everything for me. Instead, it kind of helps me think. I basically walk it through my logic, have it suggest solutions, and even double check everything because it's not perfect, and more often than not, it misses the point and it could also raise new issues. So instead of relying on it to do everything for me, I treat AI as more like a collaborator. So I guide it, refine the output, and make sure that the solution actually works. At the end of the day, I'm still the one making decisions and understanding the system, because being a software engineer today isn't just about coding, it's more so knowing how to think, problem solve, and use the tools available to you effectively. Just finished work, heading home now. My eyes are so strained from looking at screens all day. Got off the bus. It's about a 10-minute walk home. It's raining, it's gross and wet, but I'm so excited to go home. I'm telling you be on your way. When I told you to fall back, so can you come pick up your I just made it back home and it's almost 6 p.m. and I had a pretty good, successful work day. Once I get home from work, I tend to focus on the content creation part of my life, and throughout this video and throughout today, I have been taking notes on my Speak On app. So now I'm just going to go through all of them. It's been really helpful to do my everyday tasks. So if you guys are interested in checking out Speak On, I have the link in my description box down below, and you guys will be able to get $10 off your purchase. But yes, I feel like this is the most realistic, authentic day that I can have. I mean, I will say I didn't have any meetings with my team today. I actually don't have meetings with my team 2 days out of the week, but I will say my team does stack a lot of meetings on the other days. So I guess that day is a little bit different because it's mostly meetings and discussing with the team on our next projects. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.